between HyperONE and MiCox. This morning, in the bottom right-hand corner of Maganath, we have the red Protoss player. We have the Peruvian Protoss representing Clam Go Peru. It is MiCox. And in the top left-hand corner, we have the American Terran. It is HyperONE. Here we go. We're back to 1v1s. Thank God. Get me out of the nonsense, Pappy. Get me out of there. But yeah, not an SC Evolution game. Let's go. Typically, HyperONE almost exclusively redeems SC Evo games, but here we have a 1v1 ladder game instead. SC2. And I feel like typically HyperONE is a little bit more cheesy, a little bit more aggressive. From here, double gas opener out of our Terran player. To be fair, I haven't really seen too many of his games, so I can't say with certainty as to his playstyle. So Probe is moving out. Here we have the Probe Scouts. Just keep an eye on what's going on. With this, MiCox, he will confirm the double gas is where the faster factory. Oh, are we proxying the factory? The max is done. And we are indeed proxying the factory. Okay, yes, they're HyperONE. MiCox, he hasn't stuck around long enough to recognize that something is wrong, that the factory is missing. And we're going for... Are we going for a proxy 1-1? Factory into starport into... What, drop? Deliberator? Show us what you got. Show us what you got, Pappy. Aye. But this could be proxy factory into Hellions, into starport, into medevac, into Hellion drop into the main. Like, that is something that does happen at pro play. Like, that is a build. So we'll see if HyperONE does embrace that, or if we just go for some nonsense. I mean, it feels like it's too close for nonsense. Like a proxy tank or something. Oh, going for the armory. Okay. Armory's on the way. Are we going proxy Widowmine with drilling claws? It takes a... okay. I was going to say, you have to jump through a lot of hoops to go into drilling claws like this, but that's the plan. Armory's on the way. Tech lab, it feels... actually, technically, this could be Thor drop, right? It's like the armory is a prerequisite for Thors. So this could be a Thor drop, but for now I'm going to lean towards drilling claws. Show us that drilling claws. Just because there's a higher chance that just ends the game. As MiCox is still in the dark. Oh, it's scouting! Does rotate, and he will check. He will confirm the proxy 1-1. Let's go. And it is a Thor drop. So it is going to be a Thor drop. Did not research, so the Thor drop is coming. He's trying to play like Quanta. He's trying. We have +1 attack on the way. Now, at least MiCox is aware what's going on behind this. So upon seeing this setup here, specifically with the tech lab, two things should be on his mind. He sees us not researching either proxy tank or proxy Thor, right? Those are the only two options here. And we should respond with a robo, but no robo. He already went Twilight Council. When Twilight Council going to charge, okay. Going into Zealots. Which means he has no anti-air to deny the drop, the medevac. Thor has arrived, takes down the sentry, which means no anti-air, nothing shoots up. There's one stalker in the main base, and this is just a really unfortunate setup here for MiCox. Yeah, boys are being pulled. Going for the Thor. Thor takes down the pylon, depowers one of the gateways. From here, going for the economy. Thor's getting quite low, but we have a backup Thor on the way. And yeah, you can just back up from repair. Just top up that Thor. Zealots, I want to say they can trade okay against Thors. It can be okay. In large enough numbers. I'm not entirely convinced. As HyperONE should be going back in. +1 is finishing up. Here come the double Thor drop. Going for the main. With good enough control. He does pick up a little bit soon. Yeah, he pulls back. He pulls back to the cliff face. Zealots, they do nothing. They cannot touch this army. They cannot touch it. The cliff face is brutal. Zealots, they melee base units, and we can just get some free damage. We can get what, 2 gateways and a cyber core. We might be within range of the Twilight Council. That might be within range. Oh, as we do need high ground vision. There we go. SCV pulls into repair. Oh, we're within range of the Twilight Council and of the gateway as well. Sniping both. Again, just free damage here, and this is the downside of going charge as a response to this. As Zealots cannot touch this army. They can't touch the Thors. Back at home, going for a bio follow-up. Thankfully, MiCox does have Immortals. Thankfully, Immortals have arrived. And again, with good enough control, these Thors should never go down. Oh no! Miscontrol out of HyperONE. Does throw one of those Thors away. Singing up more Immortals. Building up more back. So we just get into a macro game from here. I mean, these Thors haven't dealt critical damage. They've dealt damage to the production, to the tech. But the economy has been decent. MiCox could have even taken a third base. So the game may just continue. As HyperONE is slowly expanding, building up his bio army. We're still making more Thors. We're building up to the quad Thor drop. We're almost there. Almost there. Unfortunately, because of the high immortal count Thors, they can no longer fight the main army. Not anymore. We're up to 3 immortals. HyperONE is making that 4th Thor. Jesus. So again, we're slowly expanding, so they're building up. As we mentioned before, MiCox's third base is late. You could have taken a third base much sooner. So late third base out of our Protoss. Ay, ay, ay. Late third expansion. The game is a little closer than it should have, that it feels like it should be, but just because of the late expansions, the shaky economy. If MiCox had a faster third, I would actually favor him. But with these Thors, HyperONE, he could actually force a cancel. He's heading over. Does rotate, the Immortals are keeping up. Ooh, a bit of miscontrol there, 1 Thor does go down. As we mentioned, with this high of an immortal count, the Thors, they cannot fight head on. It can't happen. Thankfully, still no blink. And oblique stalkers, Thors, they bypass the main army, they head into the main base. There's a recall. Recalls the Immortals. Immortals, they can hold their own. Shield Battery coming into play. Production does fall. Dropping back into the main. And yeah, we might just macro from here. Getting into a third CC. Oh, as HyperONE lost a lot of workers in the main. Yeah, third CC's on the way, double eBay. At this point, the hyper aggression has kind of ended for HyperONE. As long as MiCox can be in position, these floors shouldn't get much done, and now we can start to saturate and slow things down. Oh god. Are we gonna... no. We're gonna get into a longer game. It's happening again. It's happening again. HyperONE going for Ninja Base. Does he need to? No, he doesn't need to. He could just expand. It would be better if he just expanded, because then he can saturate faster as well. Zealots back into the main base. HyperONE out of position. MiCox bouncing back. Let's go. HyperONE, he's stuck with a really weird army. Now the one thing that's going to be helping HyperONE here, as the army just got scouted, is lack of splash damage. Whether it's Colossus, whether it's Storm, we're missing that here, unfortunately. MiCox is getting up to a 3-base economy, but we do need to take up, and there it is. Storm is on the way. Storm is on the way. We're quite reliant on Storm, as this is a very marine heavy composition, very bio heavy. Storm is the one thing that MiCox is missing. HyperONE, he's been missing some macro cycles, so he's going into, or he's double expanding, getting a third, getting a fourth CC. The production is just too low to actually spend the money that we need to. So the 3 maxes. That's why HyperONE is banking. HyperONE is moving out. He does move out. I believe the transfer was just scouted by the Zealots. MiCox, he might be aware of the Ninja Base. Might be somewhat aware. Oh, as he's completely out of position. MiCox, his main army's in the main. His army's in the main base, so the third base is completely exposed. And with that, this base will go down. And HyperONE does pull MiCox apart. Cleans up the drop at least, but that's going to be the death of the third. Should be. Should be the death of the third base. Send it, Bappy, send it. Oh, no. HyperONE a little bit distracted, but he should get there in the end. Yeah. Takes down the Nexus. Oh jeez, the storms are brutal. Oh my god. Stands in the storms. But he still takes the fight. And breaks through the main army. Third base is non-existent. Again, it's been a very chaotic game. Very chaotic. And as we mentioned before, HyperONE just doesn't have the production to afford spending his money. Like, he still has only 3 maxes. He's also not making anything. That's why HyperONE is banking so much. There we go. We have 5 Raxes on the way. They're also proxied. Of course they are. As hopefully we're not going to move command in. There we go. Into the mineral lines. And it feels like HyperONE is almost hurting himself here. Like, we gotta spend our money, man. We gotta spend it. We can do it. And MiCox is down to 14 workers. He's down to less than 1 base economy. Again, he was just out of position earlier. He lost his mineral line at the 3rd base. He lost a bunch of workers in the main and the natural. From here, the HyperONE should just be able to outscale and snowball out of control. Like, there's just not much that MiCox can do. There are some ways to recover in this game state, like with Dark Templar, right? If you go into DTs for DT counterattacks, Zealot run by Zealot drops. We did see some Zealot drops earlier with this War Prism, which actually was quite successful. Killed a lot of workers. We got to keep doing that, right? We just keep... Oh, it's brutal recall. As we got to keep going for that drop play for those counterattacks. Distract HyperONE, keep him busy, recover economically, and have some room to actually make probes. But currently that isn't really happening. Currently, unfortunately, MiCox is stuck at home. Right? He's stuck at home, stuck defending. He doesn't have an economy to warp in across the map. He has no minerals. Oh god. HyperONE is going for the High Templar. Gets one. That's two. Oh, and here we go. Here we go. The main. I was just waiting for the main army to be activated. We have a marine run by, and we do get another mineral line. Mineral line goes out, but the main army does finally push forward. Now, if some storms do land, then potentially MiCox can actually deter this. But another base falls, and HyperONE, he can just send it. Just split, Pappy. Just split. Oh god. Storm comes in. He sends in the storms. Yeah, almost the entire army runs through, very deep in the red. One more storm is all it takes. But there's no more storms. Yeah, there's no more storms here. With that, he can stim and he can win. Takes down the Immortals. And after a very awkward start with Proxy Thor of all things, GG. GG, well played. HyperONE does take the game. GG, GG. Fun fact, I want to say that the Thors didn't actually do much. Again, they destroyed production buildings, but over time, they really were just outscaled. It was more so just the counterattacks. The counterattacks of the... Yeah, just catching the opponent out of position. We saw a mineral line going down. MiCox, unfortunately, felt like he got into his own head a little bit as well. Had a very late 3rd base and had very limited map vision and map awareness. So the drop play was brutal. It was also unfortunate that he went into charge instead of blink. That also hurts with that. Blink stalkers are so much more mobile to keep up with drop play, to keep up with the movement of the army, and that wasn't really applicable there. GG. GG, well played. HyperONE does